Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today is an episode 92. In today's episode, we are going to take our focus to our runner. Or are they really the runner? Often we're wondering, and most probably many of you have been Googling, when will my runner return? What does my runner feel? What is happening to my twin flame masculine? Why they are running? What is the reason of that? Does my twin flame so-called runner loves me as a chaser? What do twin flame runners or the divine masculines regret? Or will a twin flame runner ever stop running? And so on and so on. These questions are coming. And today we're going to dive into what is actually happening to the runner. What they are so afraid of. Why do the runners, for example, block you? Or why do they disappear? And why they never talk to you? And what is happening from there? Will they forget you? And so on. But right before I'm going to go into all of this, what is the runner feeling? I just want to say, and I know that when we are in the beginning of this journey or somewhere in between, we like to label all of it. We like to label that I am the chaser, you are the runner, I am the divine feminine, my runner is a divine masculine, that's why they are running, that's why it's happening. But I would like to tell you that you are both, and your twin flame so-called runner is also both. We both are runners and we both are chasers. How? Because you're one. You both are running from yourself. And now this episode is most probably going to be something that is not out there or can be a little ego triggering. And it's not because I would like to trigger your ego. It's about understanding that while we are focusing on our so-called runner, we need to focus on ourselves. Why we are running. What are the things we are running from? And I know this is a hard thing to bite or hard thing to accept. Why is it? Because it feels at this moment where you are that you would give anything, you would do anything to have your twin flame back in your life. All you could think of is when your twin flame will return, how they will return, why they are keeping a distance, why there is a separation, and why they don't want to come back to me. We had such a magical time together, and why they don't want to come back to me. Twin flame connection is beyond than any other romantic relationship that you're going to ever experience. A true twin flame journey will begin and will start with a spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension. Does not 100% mean that you cannot have anybody else in between who can trigger that. Because remember, every soul in our way plays a role for that divine moment, for that sacred moment that is going to happen, and where your life is going to fall apart, where a lot of things going to change that you never thought of doing or never thought of believing or never thought of that it's real. And that's why for me, when we categorize who is a runner and who is a chaser, and then at the same time we are talking we are one, I would say, yeah, we are one. I'm both. In today's episode, I would really like you to reflect back as well. Even though I would tell you what your twin flame runner is feeling, I would like you to reflect back on the messages you sent, the conversations you had, things you said, things you did, things you were imagining, things you were holding back, games you were playing, blocking, unblocking, not replying, trying to make all of these mind games. Was that the version of you there? Or was that the version that tried to play the ego games? And when you start looking back on your journey, you start seeing that you were as much as runner as much as you were chaser. And same is your twin. And now it goes even deeper. It goes even deeper into the understanding that we are running from our true selves. When our twin flame comes to our life, it activates for us to become who we're supposed to become. And sometimes we want to fight against this. Sometimes we don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to let the unconditional love to come inside of us. We don't want to become this because that shows all the parts of us that are not so called nice. It shows our fears, insecurities. It shows who we really are. And sometimes we are afraid of that version, who we really are, because it speaks different, it acts different. And we cannot no longer put the mask of our ego. And that's actually the main reason, second main reason. The number one main reason of the separation is your spiritual awakening, your ascension, feeling the unconditional love and becoming one. And the second one is that you can no longer put your ego face on. The true version of you is coming out. Now, what your twin flame is feeling in the same. And I'm about to tell you that it's a very simple answer. They feel exactly the same way as you do. With every single inch, they feel the same way. They feel the same love and they feel the same connection. They feel the same fears. And now I just want to add a very interesting comment another day, which I will read at the end of the podcast, which I found it was very good. But when I say under the same fears, it doesn't mean that if you are afraid of dogs and I am afraid of dogs. What I mean is, if you have your human ego fears that are there, your twin has also fears they need to face and sit down with. It doesn't mean that it's exactly one-on-one. Many things can be aligned, which you can see in a mirror exercise very well, how the fears that you're holding on can be similar. And I have the mirror exercise on my Patreon, those who would wish to do my version of this. But you holding fears or insecurities or the person you're trying to portray. I think, we all know this interesting fact that when we go on a date with someone or when we meet somebody first time, we are putting the best version of ourselves. I think many women can, before marriage, or even men the same way, like we would show the best version of ourselves and we would not do certain things. And by the time we get used to each other, the real version starts to slowly come out. And also the fears and insecurities and so on. But when you meet your twin flame, it's the funny part that happens is that you can't control anymore. And so everything that you are or who you are from your soul, your twin sees it and you see it in your twin. And then you have a bit of a confusion when they're putting up an act. Because you're like, hey, what's happening? I like that version, the soul version I know. And so there is this enormous amount of a fear of losing control into the version who you really are. And I know it sounds crazy when I say, you would say, I know who I am. I know very well who I am. I thought I knew very well who I am. Very profound about my decisions, my opinions. I knew nothing. I was protecting myself from the ego very strongly, especially of letting in the love. Especially showing the part of myself of being vulnerable, weak, that I would really need love and someone to take care of me. and also share moments and become one. It was very hard for me. Or admit that I'm a workaholic, which is very difficult for me to admit. But my twin literally looked at me within the 5 minutes and told me all of it. And I looked at him and I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. Well, later on, it was all the truth. And it's the same what you are doing for your twin. You most probably have told them something that really made them feel scared from their ego, because they were like, how did you know? How did you see this part of me? I didn't show you this part of me. So how did you know? So they feel exactly what you are feeling. And now you would ask me the question, well, if they feel this profound love, if they feel this connection, if they feel all of this, why do we have to separate? Why we can't grow and heal and transform together? Well, I think there are many reasons of this. Number one is that you need to separate in order to understand this love energy. I think the divine or the more intelligent energy, whether it's a God, creation, universe, knows it better. She simply knows that the way I'm going to play this out is there for you to discover something I want you to discover. I had another day a call with a lady, and she told me that she was 67 years old, I believe, and she met her twin flame when they were 15, 16, 17. And today she's 67 years old. And she called me up and she was like, you know, it never disappeared. After 40 years of not seeing each other, we came together and it felt like it was exactly the same. Of course, when they first met up, all of her life and everything started to fall apart. She said that she had, in this 40 years, she had time to meet her twin every other 5 years. And she never showed up there because she was afraid that she's going to lose the control, and she was afraid what is about to happen. And I find this very, very powerful words. Why? We often don't make decisions in this life because we are afraid. What can possibly happen? What if I have to change my life? For example, let's say you have a nice, loving partner, or your life is pretty okay. You have a job, you have a family, or maybe you don't have anything, and you need to make a change. And change is scary, as we know. When we need to make a change, and we know that somehow the change will happen at one point, we try to prevent from our mind. And when she told her story to me about how 40 years later they met up, and first her life started to fall apart because now she couldn't run from it anymore. But she said when she hugged her twin, it was like the energies became one together. It was exactly the same moment. She is, in a sense, of happily married with her husband, happily married is always a word which it sounds like somebody's very happy. I would say marriage is a job, it's a work. It requires, and it has its up and downs, it has its good times, it has its bad times, it has its challenging times, it has everything. But she knew, and she told me when she met her twin, that he remembered everything and even more. Remember things she had forgotten about and had no idea. And he said, I have been trying to find you from everywhere. In other women, in other situations, in other places. But no one is like you. So now you would tell me, do I have to wait 40 years? 40 years since I met. No, you don't have to wait for anything for 40 years. You have to live your life. You have to become who you're supposed to become. And not to hold yourself back from the life you should be living. The fear of change is holding you back of becoming who you're supposed to become. The fear of doing something your twin is telling you to do through energy, such as, let's say, moving away from the home you've been living for a long time, or changing a job, or changing your friendship, changing your habits, changing certain things, reading the message, what you're going to consume, for example. Change is always hard and we don't like it because we don't know what comes next. It's easier to stay where we know. It's easier, there's even a proven fact that it's easier to stay where we can suffer than going into unknown and not knowing what is going to come. Another day when I was meditating and channeling, and there has been a lot happening since 808 portal, of course, and it still continues right now. I think a lot of you are having a lot of tower moments where a lot of things feel like stuck, and you feel like your twin tells you, no, I don't want to talk to you, or something like this. Like, it feels a lot of like a gray area right now. At the same time, you might have heard from your twin. And here is, I really, really like you to encourage, to use the comments and to write things down in the comment section, especially for those who heard from their twin flames during the 808 portal, during afterwards, what did they tell him? Because I received so many messages, which I'm going to put them up on Instagram sooner or later. But the reason is that we often think that when I say these things that, oh, it didn't happen to me, it's never going to happen. But when we see from others, we're realizing, oh, it is going to happen because we are one. If you let your mind to come in, your mind is just going to tell you immediately, this is not real, this is never going to happen, this is not, your twin doesn't feel anything towards you. I remember that so clearly when I was on this journey and I started listening to others, which was so helpful. And I always want to say that for me, it's not about that others are right or wrong. Definitely not. Everybody plays a role on this journey. And I am not right either. I don't even like actually comparing that something is right or wrong. But I just share my experience and what I was able to receive. That your twin doesn't feel anything, that's why they run, they don't have any interest towards you, they don't have... Number one, I want to say that everyone's journey is unique. Sometimes it might take longer for them to realize. Sometimes there is such a big fear that to open up yourself for this powerful superpower takes some time. To feel this love, to be this love, to take that power into the hands. But I don't believe even for once that your twin, when you really met your twin, that they didn't feel what you felt and that they don't feel what you feel. During the energy activations, we can really easily see how the energy travels. I can be physically in a certain place and we have people around the world and they are feeling my energy. They are feeling me coming with them. They're feeling it. How? Energy travels beyond everything. Beyond our earth, beyond our solar system, beyond everything. So now, it brings me to the understanding that, okay, that your twin feels it. They feel it too. They feel the love towards you. They feel they want to be with you. They would do anything, and they feel sad. They feel all of this, what you're feeling right now. Just even though it's another exercise today, I would put it out here if you have a time and you feel like, write down everything that you feel today. And for the next 30 days. For 30 days, you write down what you feel. There is no right and wrong answer. You're just going to write down everything what you feel. And then just try to imagine that this is your twin who is feeling it. And start observing it, what it happens when somebody feels like that. Because you are one with your twin. We all are one actually, but you have the stronger connection because of the same frequency, vibration, energy. Another day I was listening again and just coming back that when I heard about it, that your twin doesn't feel anything. They don't know anything about it. And I truly believed that. At the same time, I was writing things down that came out of nowhere, that made me to realize, and they were literally words from my journal. I'm afraid to contact you because I'm going to break your heart. I'm afraid to reach out to you because I don't know what's gonna come. That pain is killing me. And why did I fall in love with you? Why I can't stop loving you? And there were more and more and more, but these were just examples. And later, I heard all of it from my twin in a physical world with 3D words. And then I realized he felt exactly what I felt. And sometimes it wasn't even me who was feeling it. I felt his parts, and it was coming through me. So if we are one, we feel each other. So if you feel that your twin doesn't love you, or your twin is not there for you, or your twin has no connection with you, then maybe you are playing still the mind games. And here comes another thing. When I hear this over and over and over again, and I'm not here to say that I'm right and wrong, definitely not. I just like this to be an open space for everyone from their experience. We're trying to solve this from the mind. Do not think of your twin flame. Do not send them an energy. Do not do this and this and this. My question would be, how do you stop the energy? Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to stop receiving the energy, the communication? If you do, and you know how to block the energy that it won't receive to you, then might be you will be able to do so. But if you don't, then you can't do that from the mind. My mind would think of, I block my twin on social media, I will not talk to them, I will date somebody else, I will go and do all of these things. Will that help? Let me know. And then my twin will return. Again, we are solving a thing from the mind. I want to say that a third main reason your twin flame is running, and so are you, is because you got the superpower. You just got the superpower by meeting your twin. And this is the love energy. The energy of love, energy of connection, energy of you being you. But now you just don't know yet how to handle this energy. Think of yourself like a Spider-Man, or who else has I don't know so many superheroes in that sense. Spider-Man has been my favorite. When you first get this superpower in your hands, in your system, you test. You don't know what you're doing. Sometimes it feels right, sometimes it feels wrong, sometimes it's too much, sometimes it's too little, and you're playing around with that. And it's the same for your twin flame. We don't know how to handle this love energy, because one part of us would like to be honest, would like to be the one who says everything. I love you, I want to be with you, you've been the best person in my life. I never felt this way. And the other part is the ego, which comes and says, if you do that, you're going to scare your twin away. Today I don't believe that, in that sense, that if you love somebody unconditionally, you can never scare them away. But don't expect anything from them. Don't expect them to play by your rules, by your rule book. That, now I opened my heart, now I did this, and you need to respond and return the same way. No. Unconditional love is a power that we send it out without having any expectations. without the feel that if I tell you I love you, that you need to return to me the same way, at the same moment, at the same very place. You love this person, or actually the soul, unconditionally, because this is the power, it's the energy, it's the unconditional love. And even if your twin marries somebody else, even if your twin loves somebody else, you love it too. As you're one. And I know that's a hard one right now. And we wouldn't like that. I know all of this in that sense. I remember when I was listening to others and they were saying, if you are married, then your marriage will definitely fall apart because your twin flame is the most divine part for you. And this comes to the next point, that another day when I was channeling and meditating, I realized, no, it's not because of your twin flame your marriage falls apart or any other thing. It would have anyhow. Your twin just came to your life to save you, to open you the door that you didn't want to open, you didn't want to see, and you didn't want to accept. And your twin came to your life to show you that it's time. It's time to make a change over here. I truly believe that every person who comes to our life, every experience, every challenge, every moment is here to show us something, is here to get our attention. The same way like universe communicates with you all the time. Through signs, through animals, through songs, through moments. And the same way was your twin flame sent to your life to show you that that's not okay. Many of us get married because of the social pressure or feeling it will never happen. I'm just gonna settle. We women have a biological clock. Men maybe feel like it's time to settle down, the society is looking for it, and this person seems like a nice person to do so. And I'm not saying that you can't be married to your soulmate and be very happy while this happens, or other way around. What I'm saying is your twin flame is, if that happens when you are married and comes to your life, it's gonna come and show you something like a smack on your face that you're realizing, oh my God, I thought I was happy until I met that person and I realized what the happiness and love is. And so now here again you get to see the fact that they come and show you what you really deserve and who you really are. Not to settle for something less. And you are showing them the same thing. But sometimes our ego and fears are on the way of not believing that we can have something better. We can live better. We can be better. And we can achieve better. So we stay where we are. I no longer believe that when the moment we met our twin flame that this is only because of the romantic love and everything. No, they come and show us everything within a very short amount of time. And the same way I believe that if you are maintaining your frequency, if you are staying in a love vibration, if you are feeling the connection, there's no way you're gonna stop the connection. You're gonna come together sooner or later. Like this woman who called me another day and said to me, it has been 40 years and it feels exactly the same. Now, of course, when you hear from me of saying 40 years, you will like, I don't want to wait 40 years. I'm going to be 60 years old. I want to have my twin flame right now. I believe that you can have your twin flame faster than you can imagine if you step over your fears. If you stop running from who you are and you start doing what you're supposed to do. It comes faster than you can imagine. And maybe sometimes in between, I just want to say that your twin has to, or you have to, meet someone else in between. Or maybe even 4 or 5 other people in between. remember all the souls are playing a role of your union. Everyone. So don't push them away. Don't push the people away. Don't think of it like, oh, I can't because I'm waiting for my twin. Or I can't be this. No. You have a life that is going on. You still have two individuals' lives, and you shouldn't be stopped living it. And here is why I'm so profound of talking about becoming your higher self who leaves the fears behind. The more you practice all of this, and the more you're connecting with your essence, and you are not held back with the fears. We can't, in a sense of make our twin with coming back to us through our mind. It doesn't work like that. This is why the mind games for me, it's a little bit like a kindergarten. I'm like, yes, sounds good, but what about the energy? What about energy attracts energy? Frequency lets the information to come. Think about the frequency. If I don't get the right frequency on my radio, I can't hear a thing. Or if it's not set on the let's say long back ago, like if the TV was not set on the right frequency, you couldn't see anything. You couldn't receive. Are you able to receive when you were on the right frequency? But when you are in the frequency of blame, judgment, I don't know, I don't believe in this, this is not happening, how do you expect to attract this? From the mind? It might work for a while, but energy is everything. And I know I keep on repeating this, but I repeat this that until we understand that there are no mind games over here. Now you would ask me, but what about the obsessive thinking? Does my twin also thinks about me obsessively? Why I can't stop the obsessive thinking towards my twin? Why is it so hard? Well, number one, there is a difference in between obsessive thinking and obsessive thinking. The number one obsessive thinking is the energy that you're receiving from your twin, that you're feeling that they are around you, that you feel that your twin is in your presence. You feel what they're saying. You sometimes feel their perfume. You might have even energetic sex with them. You might feel that they are touching you. You might feel that they're exactly close to you. And you're thinking, why am I feeling this? I need to stop this. I need to stop this. Well, it's the energy. It's the essence that is coming and wants to be with you. That's why there is no separation. The separation was never there. And don't fight against this. This is not obsessive thinking. This is you becoming one again. And the more you're trying to push this energy away, the more you are like somehow extending the separation. Allow it to become one. Allow yourself to feel this presence, to be there, to feel it, to connect with this, to become with this, to be one with that. It's not obsessive thinking. It's becoming one with an energy. It's the same thing like we do on the energy activation sessions. You become one with the energy. You start feeling energies that are coming through you, and you're there. That's why we close our eyes in our meditation, because our eyes, when they see, they like to make sense of the things. But when we start feeling it, when we start connecting it, when we start becoming one with it, we're realizing it's all here already. I don't have to chase for anything. And so if your twin flame is thinking of you, absolutely. That's why you're receiving this information. That's why you're receiving this connection. That's why you are sometimes hearing clearly that they're going to say to you something. And if you don't listen to this, they start coming through dreams, through other people, through songs. The more you're trying to resist, the more volume gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Yeah. So now the other obsessive thinking is the fact that when you are in a state of mind, so think of your brain a little bit like it's a wire. Every thought you are putting out there goes to your twin, actually. They're receiving it. And I will be making an extra episode about this, of talking how when we present our thoughts to our twin, how this can make them to run even more or stay away. And why is it that? But I'm just going to say that now the obsessive thinking comes to the fact where you sit down and you start, oh, you don't think about me. I miss you. Reach out to me. Why don't you talk to me? Why don't you come to me? Are you my twin flame? Why I can't hear anything from you? So now can you imagine if you would be that person who is receiving this information? Constant questions while you are in a state of confusion. What just happened to you? And you're receiving, why you don't call me? Why you don't want to talk to me? Why you don't tell me that you love me? Why you are with this person? Why you don't change your life? And you're sitting there, and if somebody's asking this question, and you'll be like, I don't know what just happened to me. I don't know any of these answers. Allow me to breathe. Allow me to be. I don't know what just happened to me. And meanwhile, they keep on receiving information. You don't love me, do you? Why don't you love me? Why did you do this to me? Why you are this? And so you're constantly pressuring. And what they feel in that time, I want to run as far as I can. I had situations where people write to me where they say, my twin literally told me when we were together sitting next to each other, my twin told me, I'm sorry, I have to sit on the other side, or I have to sit in a distance. Because when I'm sitting next to you, I am vibrating and I don't know, I can't breathe. So you see, it is intense, and it's intense for you too. But since you have a bit of a more of conscious awareness and you have done the work, you're starting to understand. But I do not recommend to go with all of this every day. Why don't you contact me? Why don't you love me? Why don't you do this? Because even I know myself, when I have a lot of pressure behind, people say, I want this from you. Can you send me this? Can you do me this? I want this. Why didn't you respond to me? And I feel I'm looking at this energy. And I just want to distance myself, because it feels like you are trying to take away what I really want to say, what I really want to feel. I'm very much about believing that all the answers comes in time. And if I pressure somebody, I want this now, I want this, and I've seen this in my life. And here is why I talk about it. When we try to push things through and we don't listen to our inner voice and we don't listen to our something, it feels like, oh, I need to get this job, I will do anything. And you're following up with the HR, you're following up, you get the job and it's an absolute disaster. Or you're hiring a person out of desperation, out of yeah, we need a person, this has to be, and we're hiring this person and it's an absolute disaster because you went from the ego, I want, I need, and that's how it's supposed to be. And if there is any other way, I don't accept it. And then what? You are realizing, why did we rush this process? Why? Why didn't I sit down, take deep breaths, and see what I really want to say? And I know that we sometimes feel like we're going to lose our twin, or it's not even going to be near to us, and it's never going to happen. I know all of these feelings, and I'm not here to judge them. Not at all. Not at all. I've done all of what you have done and what you are experiencing. But I also would say that if you are on a twin flame journey, your twin will never disappear. And they are always next to you, right now, right here. I would recommend you to go over to the Patreon today, because there is a meditation or the connection, energy connection, of feeling your twin next to you energetically. And you can try out this one. But why I'm talking about it, that what your twin flame runner feels. If you are one, they feel exactly what you feel. And until you don't let go of the fears, until you don't let go of the things that are holding you back, don't expect them to have any other experience. And allow them to settle into that power, like you are settling into. There is nothing better than going back and reflecting on yourself, reflecting on your fears, reflecting on your insecurities. And you are here for that. It's not a judgment that you have to be hard on yourself. It's about realizing, wow, I was running as much as my twin is running. And I was chased as much as I am chasing. And today I would like to read you one comment which I found it so profound, that thank you. I want to say that each time, if you can, leave a comment, put your inputs, say certain things, because this opens up a world of discussion, world of seeing that things can happen and things are shifting and changing, and it's not only you alone, we are all together. And so I read the comment now. I find it really affirming and fascinating to hear men sharing their experiences of their twin flame pain. There is no doubt that the twin flame journey is extremely painful beyond words at times. The obsessive thinking, the addictive quality, the yearning, the missing, the electrifying sexual energy when the person is not even with you. And often it seems the attraction of relationships seems to make any sense at all. The pain being so strong that it forces us to turn inwards in the moment we start discovering what the twin flame journey was really about. And that is where our peace begins, inside of us. It was never about the other being. Our soul used them to grow us. Yes, we are a quantum couple, as you say, but it's important also to realize that despite the fact that our soul has expressed itself in two beings, that each expression of that same soul also expresses in an individualized soul in each of us, and that we each have our own journey. And I really, really liked how she put these words down. Why? Because yes, we are one. But we are not going to have exactly the same life. We are not going to feel everything exactly the same way. We are not going to be the exact same as an ego in a sense. And there are other things that your soul has picked it up as an energy as well. Like, think of it, a bit of it like you are a raindrop and I now make you a part and I put you in a different parts of the room. One has cold and one has warmth. You see what starts to happen? One has wind, one has stillness. One gets more raindrops inside because the other souls are coming, the other one doesn't. So I just want to say that even though, yes, we are one, we are having a different experience. And I really, really like that. I really love that. And she says, if my twin flame drinks, I'm not necessarily going to know, as you say it in this video, which doesn't make it any less true, that we are twin flames and quantum entangled. Totally. I just discovered this through the fact, and I'm going to say we all are feeling different things. We all have different senses. We don't use 99% of our senses. So think about it. We all are feeling different. Some of us are feeling through our eyes. Let's say your eye starts twitching or something happens to your eye, or you feel in your stomach, or you feel in you feel certain things that you don't really understand why you're feeling it, but something is telling you. And the way I've discovered, in a sense of understanding, when my twin has been drinking, because I don't drink alcohol, and I tested that many times, because I started to have my neck was stuck. And I was like, I'm waking up in the morning and my neck is very heavy and very stuck. And I'm like, what is this thing? And I could look up, for example, on social media that, let's say, my twin had partied or he had posted it. And I was like, I didn't make any sense of it. But since I didn't drink alcohol at all, I had that feeling like something is weird. Like I have been drinking, but I haven't been drinking. And of course, after I don't even know, I have to look it up on my other journal, 30, 40 times when I felt that neck pain and I could get the answer. And then once I even did, or even more, not even once, I did like this, that I woke up with this pain, or it woke me up in the middle of the night. And I said, hey, are you partying? And he says, oh, hey, how do you know? Are you here? And I'm like, no. And then I started to realize that comes from there. So is it 100% in a sense, but there is something in my energy that tells me this. And it tends to accumulate, the stuck energy tends to accumulate in my neck. So I continue. Since we are connected at the quantum level, as we do on our own growth work, it makes sense that there is some kind of a reverberation in our other self. But it may not surface in this lifetime. We don't control the pace of other person's growth or awakening into the reality of believing a twin flame and everything it implies and all its possibilities in healing, growth, and love. We need to stay focused within us and know that it's a divine love that unfolded into this unusual, challenging, and transformative journey out of love and faith. Beautiful words. I don't even need to add anything over here. It's exactly, focus on you. You can't make them to realize. You can't force them. What I would say is become one with it today and allow everything else to fall into the place. Our mind likes to be controlled, but we are not in control of how things will play out. We are in control what decision you're gonna take today, how much you're gonna connect within your soul. So that's why if you want to feel the presence of your twin, you're going to head over to the Patreon, try out this meditation and see what starts to happen. So this was today's episode about what your twin flame is feeling. I hope it was eye-opening. I hope it was something new. And if you like this episode, of course, like, subscribe, and stay in touch with us. As you know, every like, every subscription is an energy that helps the message to be delivered to those who need that the most. Or maybe not. I just go over a few things. Like I said, on Patreon, there is another meditation for today to feel the presence of your twin or the energy. The second thing is that on 1st of September, we will have another energy activation. Those of you who are on Patreon will see the invitation over there. Those of you who are not, soon it will be out on website that you can purchase a ticket for this and come and join us. This will be a very different than we have ever done before. I would say if you have not done the energy activation before, maybe not the best idea to join this one, but if you're courageous and you felt that I feel and I see the sign to come for it, you're more than welcome, of course. About the retreat, I believe we have 1 or 2 places available, and the retreat is going to be very special. It's just because of the people I already see who have signed up. And so if you would like to come, drop your email very quickly. I just also want to say, for those who sent me their emails that they were interested, didn't get back to me, or haven't completed their first payment, I just really want to say that if the places are coming full by somebody else or replace, then it's gone, and I'll see you maybe on the next time. Just to inform you that we need to make sure that everyone who is supposed to be here, guided, will come. And you get to experience the energy of Cyprus, which is beyond. every one of them who were here last year, or this year, sorry, not last year, this year, they were able to experience it is beyond, it's beautiful. And for those who would like to book a session, energy activation, twin flame channeling, getting to know what is the energy telling us, what is the state of this, or energy activation in the sense of activating you to the highest possible energy, or the first call, all of them are out there. And another day again, when I was meditating and channeling, I just wanted to say that sometimes just talking your journey out helps tremendously. It's just such a little piece that makes such a difference. Because I have a tendency to hold a lot inside of me. But when we talk it out and when we share, we allow magic to happen. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. You are the best, as usual. Your love, your light, your guidance, your words are the best. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Lots of love and light.
Your